exciting, interesting, spectacular, mysterious. All the elements come together in today's video, and I hope it brings joyful joy and a bit of entertainment to the viewers. These damaged cars are being carefully fed into a powerful press machine where they are crushed into compact metal blocks. This process not only helps reduce their size, but also makes it much easier to organize and manage them for recycling purposes. By turning the cars into compact metal blocks, it becomes more efficient for the recycling plants to sort the materials and reuse the metal, contributing to a more sustainable and eco-friendly approach to waste management. At first glance, these tires seem nearly indestructible. You might even think they're tougher than the cars themselves. But when they are fed into this powerful press machine, even these stubborn tires are no match. They're quickly turned into tiny fragments, ready to be recycled and given a new life. It's like watching a superhero try to put up a fight, only to be effortlessly squashed by the villain. Who knew recycling could be so dramatic? These stubborn tree stumps may think they're tough, but they're no match for this powerful grinding machine. The machine effortlessly crushes them into tiny wood fragments, breaking them down into manageable pieces. It's like watching an epic showdown between nature and technology, and in the end, nature doesn't stand a chance. The machine hums as it does its work, reducing the mighty stumps to mere splinters. Who knew that even the toughest tree stumps could get turned into sawdust with a little help from technology? The once proud and formidable stumps now lie in tiny fragments, ready for the next stage of recycling. It's a humbling reminder that no matter how strong something seems, technology will always find a way to make it more manageable. Oh my God, look at this machine. Even the toughest steel bars are no match for it. They're shredded into tiny pieces in no time. It's like the Hulk of industrial machines, turning strong steel into scrap metal effortlessly. Watching it crush steel is almost like watching a show-off. What once seemed unbreakable is now just small fragments, proving the power of technology to break down even the toughest materials. Wow, look at this machine. It's crushing massive stones into tiny pieces with ease. The power and precision of the machine are incredible as it transforms huge rocks into manageable fragments. What an impressive sight! The third damaged car is being carefully lined up to enter the crushing machine, where it will be compacted into a solid block. Afterward, it'll be sent off for recycling, where it will hopefully turn into something more useful. Maybe even a new car. But hey, no promises. It could end up as a stylish paperweight instead. It's like the car's last adventure before becoming something completely different. A close-up of the process of producing wooden planks and beams from natural timber. First, the rough, uneven trees are brought in from the forest, and it's almost as if they're being sent to a luxurious spa retreat, dropped straight into a large body of water. These once rugged, messy logs are now ready to get their makeover. They float in, covered in mud and leaves, as though they just finished their wild jungle adventure. After their watery dip, they're lifted onto the sawmill, where a powerful machine starts working its magic. The saw slices away the rough edges, cutting off the unnecessary bits one by one like a professional barber trimming off a wild beard. It's a continuous process, just like an endless cycle of fresh haircuts for these logs. Over time, those stubborn, unrefined logs transform into perfectly smooth, square beams, each piece now ready to serve its purpose in construction. It's as if these logs have undergone a total glow-up, from chaotic, wild pieces of wood to beautifully polished materials that are both useful and strong. They've come a long way from their humble beginnings. And at this point, if these logs could talk, they'd probably be bragging about how they've been sculpted into sturdy beams. Who would have thought these rough, messy logs would end up becoming the backbone of modern construction? It's truly fascinating to watch. Whether the materials are soft or hard, once they pass through this powerful grinding machine with its sharp, jagged teeth, they're instantly transformed into tiny, manageable fragments. The machine works relentlessly, breaking down everything in its path, no matter how tough or sturdy it seems. It's as if the materials lose their form entirely, becoming nothing more than small pieces, ready to be used for something new. It's a remarkable process that shows just how powerful and efficient modern machinery can be when it comes to transforming even the toughest materials into something usable. This beautifully designed car is about to be crushed by a powerful machine because it is no longer usable. Though its shape is still quite elegant, it's time for it to undergo recycling. The car will be compacted into a smaller form, ready to be repurposed into something more useful. It's fascinating how such an impressive vehicle will transform into new materials, contributing to a more sustainable and resourceful world. The process is a reminder that everything, no matter how stylish or functional, can eventually be reimagined and given new life. A metal crushing machine is spinning at an impressive high frequency. Its design simple yet extraordinarily effective. It looks like something that would be found in a heavy-duty industrial yard, and yet, despite its unassuming structure, this machine is a powerhouse. In a remarkably short amount of time, it can pulverize a massive amount of material without breaking a sweat. Almost as if it's saying, "Is that all you've got?" It doesn't encounter any obstacles or difficulties. Nothing can slow it down. Whether it's metal, wood, or even the toughest materials, this machine shows no mercy. It's like the superhero of industrial machinery, its only weakness being its insatiable hunger for destruction. You could almost imagine it flexing its mechanical muscles, ready for anything that comes its way. In a world where complex machines are often the star, this simple yet powerful machine is a reminder that sometimes the simplest designs pack the most punch. Whether it's motorbikes, toy cars, or even large metal objects, once they're fed into the sharp, unforgiving blades of the crusher, they're completely transformed. What was once a shiny, whole piece of machinery or equipment is reduced to a chaotic jumble of fragments. It's as if the machine is having a feast, tearing apart every piece and breaking it down into hundreds or even thousands of tiny metal bits. It's almost comical to think how something so solid and sturdy can be torn apart so effortlessly. The pieces are no longer recognizable as the original objects. They're now a collection of jagged bits ready to be reshaped. This transformation is so thorough that what was once a functioning vehicle or object now looks like an abstract metal sculpture, scattered pieces that can be easily sorted and prepared for their next phase. But here's where the real magic happens. Once the material is shredded into small, manageable fragments, it can be recycled and repurposed for all kinds of useful tasks. Whether it's being turned into new building materials, recycled fuel, or even new machines, the possibilities are endless. It's almost like these materials have a second chance at life. After all the destruction, they get to come back as something even more valuable. Imagine the metal bits saying, "Well, we've been through a lot, but now we get to become something completely new." This process serves as a perfect example of how nothing ever truly goes to waste. What was once deemed useless and broken is now transformed into a valuable resource, proving that even the toughest materials can be reborn and made useful again. These men are working together to get the lumber truck out of the forest, facing an uphill challenge. As the truck climbs the slope, the wheels seem to struggle, but the real trick is the clever technique they use to keep it steady. They carefully place logs under the wheels to act like chocks, preventing the truck from rolling back.
Oh shit, already killed it. I really slow na. Slow, guys.
It's almost like they've created a makeshift parking brake using nature itself. Watching them work, it's clear they're not just using muscle. They're using strategy, making sure the truck doesn't slip and slide back down the hill. Who knew that wood could come to the rescue, literally holding the wheels in place while these men work their magic? It's a rather fascinating scene as the forklift lifts the cars that seem to have been partially flattened. These cars, once whole and functional, now look like they're about to surrender to the inevitable. The forklift carefully stacks 3 of them on top of each other, almost as if it's preparing to create a metal sandwich. The once proud vehicles now find themselves at the mercy of the machine, being slowly pressed into a block of scrap metal. It's a reminder that even the toughest of cars can be reduced to nothing more than a compact pile of metal in the blink of an eye. Watching the forklift work is like seeing an artist at work, except instead of a masterpiece, it's turning these deflated cars into a neat, manageable block of scrap metal. The machines are clearly in charge. And the cars? Well, they've become humble guests at the recycling table, ready to be reborn as something new. Who knew a forklift could turn chaos into order, flattening cars into their final form with such precision? This machine is on a mission, gobbling up everything in its path, from plastic to steel, from soft to hard. Whatever it catches, it doesn't hesitate for a second before grinding it to pieces. With each turn of its sharp teeth, materials are torn apart as if they're nothing more than snacks for this hungry beast. It's like the machine has one goal in life: devour anything that dares to pass through its jaws. Plastic, metal, rubber, nothing stands a chance. And the gears? Oh, they're not just gears. They're like the jaws of a giant shark, snapping shut with the force of 1,000 hungry predators. Every time a piece of material enters, it's like a shark taking a bite out of its next meal. You can almost hear it saying, "Nom nom nom, another tasty morsel down." It's as if the machine has developed a taste for destruction and is enjoying every moment of it. If you think about it, this machine is basically the shark of the industrial world. No material is safe from its bite. It could probably eat a whole truck if it wanted to, but instead, it's perfectly content with devouring small scraps. Who knows, maybe it has a soft spot for the little guys and just likes to nibble away at them. But no matter what, when something passes through those sharp, unforgiving teeth, there's only one outcome: total destruction. A large vehicle, heavily damaged and no longer functional, is being carefully fed into a powerful compression machine. The machine is about to crush it into a unified block, transforming the once proud vehicle into a compact mass of metal. After the vehicle is pressed into a single block, it will be arranged in layers with other cars, ready for the recycling process. It's fascinating to think how something once so big and functional can be broken down and repurposed into valuable materials for something new. This process is a reminder of the power of recycling and how even the most damaged items can find new life. The steel-making process is a complex series of steps that begins with extracting raw materials and ends with the production of refined steel, ready for use in various industries. The main raw materials for steel making are iron ore, coke, and limestone. First, iron ore is fed into a blast furnace, where it is heated along with coke and limestone to produce pig iron, which contains a high carbon content. Next, this pig iron is transferred to a basic oxygen furnace, where oxygen is blown in to reduce the carbon and impurities, turning it into steel. An alternative method is using an electric arc furnace to recycle scrap steel, a process that uses electricity to melt scrap metal and convert it into new steel. Following this, secondary steel making is used to add alloying elements like nickel and chromium to adjust the steel's properties. Once the refining process is complete, the molten steel is poured into molds to form rough products like slabs, billets, or blooms. These products are then rolled into their final shapes and may undergo further treatments to improve their properties, such as annealing or surface treatments. The resulting steel can be used in industries like construction, automotive, machinery production, and infrastructure, contributing to the creation of durable and long-lasting products. This steel-making process not only reshapes the material, but also demonstrates the power of technology in transforming raw materials into valuable resources for various sectors of society. The man is diligently using his basic saw to cut down the large tree stump. He starts by carefully sawing around the base of the tree, making steady and deliberate cuts. The tree is thick and tough, so each stroke of the saw feels like a battle, requiring patience and effort. Despite the slow progress and physical exhaustion, he remains focused, knowing that this is the only way to bring the massive tree down. With each cut, the once sturdy trunk begins to slowly yield. After a long period of hard work, the man's persistence finally pays off as the tree trunk begins to topple, breaking free from the ground. The task has been physically demanding, but the satisfaction of watching the tree fall is clear. The man's dedication and patience have led to the successful felling of the tree, marking the end of a long and challenging process. A powerful bulldozer crushes motorcycles with each pass, flattening them beyond recognition. The force of the machine leaves the once functional bikes as piles of scrap metal, showcasing the stark contrast between the bulldozer's power and the fragility of the motorcycles. With each crushing movement, the motorcycles stand no chance, reduced to broken pieces. It's a dramatic display of strength as the bulldozer effortlessly destroys the fragile vehicles. A machine with a grab arm is meticulously dismantling a bulldozer, carefully breaking down each part with precision. The bulldozer, once a powerful force on the construction site, now faces its final chapter. Before reaching this point, it's likely that the bulldozer fought valiantly in tough working conditions, tirelessly pushing through mountains of earth and rubble. Once a warrior of the industry, now reduced to components, it is slowly but surely being deconstructed piece by piece. The process is a mix of strength and sadness, as the mighty machine, after serving its purpose, meets the inevitable end of its journey. I'm not sure if anyone has ever destroyed objects this way before, but it sure would be interesting to give it a try with this object-crushing machine. Watching things get completely obliterated by the sheer force of this machine is oddly satisfying. It's almost like it has a talent for turning anything into tiny bits and pieces. If you've never seen it in action, You might want to give it a go. Who knows what exciting, chaotic destruction awaits?